Hi everyone, welcome back to Function Pilates. I'm Vanessa Kelly, and today I'm leading you through a beginner foundational reformer workout. It is a full body workout. So today's class is all about getting back to those fundamentals because I truly believe that's where the biggest changes happen. When you improve the basics, everything else in Pilates starts to feel stronger, more controlled, and just more connected. So we're gonna move through footwork, some core strengthening, hip work, upper body. We'll do some stretching and just finish it with some gentle spinal mobility. So by the end of class, you'll have worked your entire body while improving the quality of your movements. So today's workout is actually one of the progressive flows I teach inside my at-home reformer program. So if you're looking for more structured reformer workouts that build from one class to the next, I create an entire program with complete workout plans, spring settings, exercise tutorials, and dozens of additional exercises to help you stop second guessing and just simply enjoy your workouts. So if you'd like to continue practicing with me after today's class, you'll find all the details linked in the description below. So now if you're ready to get started, let's go ahead and begin. All right, so we're gonna get started with setting up our footwork springs like usual, and then we're gonna get into a warm-up before we get into our footwork. So I'm gonna set my springs on two mediums and a heavy spring, so that's two reds and a green spring if you're using balanced body. My headrest is going to go all the way down on this first part of the warm-up here. So let's have that flat, and then you guys can go ahead and start to lie down onto your back here and getting comfortable. So from this position, we want to, again, not be super snug on the shoulder blocks. So we want to have a little bit of room there that we're not super snug at all. Okay. So let's take our feet and we're going to place them on the ledge of the reformer. And I'm going to have you guys take your arms down beside you. So we're going to go right into a pelvic curl. So just taking a nice moment to soften through your eyes, through your face, and let the knees look straight up at the ceiling. Let's begin to rock your pelvis back into a flat position. So there's intention here, right? And then I want you to use your feet, so press into your feet to start to peel your hips off the mat, and you can use your arms and your tricep as leverage here. So fingertips are reaching long, take a breath at the top, and then start to roll your spine down. So automatically, we're gonna start to feel that the backs of our legs are working here, and that is on purpose. We wanna feel that. We also wanna have that sense of using your abs to create the speed. As you hold at the top, take an inhale, and then as we lower down, we're using our spine to control the mobility. Tailbone's the last thing to touch. Nice. Let's try this 3 more times. We're rocking our hips back. We're peeling up. A warm-up is so important to add prior to doing the full body workout experience, just because it is starting to get your body warm and for preparation to integrate the breathing and the neutral spine and pelvis positioning. So let's take it again. Rock it back. Scoop. Push those feet into the ledge, hold at the top, maybe squeeze those glutes a little bit at the top, some extra posterior chain work, and lower back down. Nice, let's do this one more time. We rock our hips back for that deep core connection. We push through the feet, draw your abs away from your waistband, hold at the top, take an inhale here, and exhale, roll your spine all the way down. Good. Okay, from here, let's take a hold of our pegs, so grab those. Let's carefully bring one leg up into a tabletop position and then match it with the other leg. So shoulder blades are gonna stay down on this, and I'm just trying to get myself in a good position so I don't wanna feel like I'm arching through my back. So our supine spine twist, we're gonna take our legs over to the right-hand side, keeping our left and right shoulder blades glued and connected to the mat. So you can lower as far as you possibly want to go, but if you feel like your left shoulder blade is drifting off the mat, you know you've hit your stopping point. So from here, let's go ahead and pull those legs back through center, and then take a nice deliberate stop in the middle. Take it over to the left-hand side. We're going over as far as possible. And we're gonna go ahead and then pause when we can't go any further, using your obliques to pull those heavy, heavy legs. Think of them so weighted, and pull them back through center. Let's do 2 more each way. So we take it over as we inhale, keeping the knees connected as one item, and then exhale back through the center. Beautiful. So it's almost like you're rocking on your tailbone, on your sacrum here, from one hip to the next. And just be very gentle with yourself here as you're going through these. 1 more each way. So muscle focus is definitely going to be on the abdominals with an oblique emphasis here. And return back through center. And left side to finish off this exercise. And back through center. Beautiful. Taking the feet back down for just a moment. We're gonna go into our chest lift. So interlacing those hands behind the head, just like that, not pulling on the neck. And then we'll take it into a tabletop position. Okay, so from this here, knees are connected. Exhale to curl up, eyesight down on the navel, and lower down. So one thing to address and to note is that you don't want to pull on your neck. You want to keep your elbows wide, you want to keep your shoulders down and away, and you want to be very mindful that your elbows are not becoming very narrow to your face. So, things to think about. Exhale, inhale to lower. 2 more. And down. And 1 more time. Let's hold at the top. Let's go into a rotation. So left armpit to right knee, back through center. Right armpit to left knee, back through center. Now the trick is to be very stable and independent through the legs so that you're not moving, and that it's just really the upper spinal rotation that's taking the lead here. And turn, shouldn't say twist, rotate, take it over 1 more time to the right, and 1 more time to the left, and then back through center, relaxing everything down. Good. Okay, so let's take our headrest up halfway if that feels okay to you. If you like it down flat, that's okay as well. And then I want to start with our heels on the foot bar. So we're going to do a few variations here today, just a few. So let's have heels on, toes are looking up at the ceiling. Let's exhale, extend out, so you're opening up through the backs of the knees, and return back in again. Good. And press. So again, the goal is to feel like you are using your hamstrings. You will be feeling your quads pretty easy. And I think it's a lot harder to really grasp the connection through the backs of the legs. So that's where you want to build the foundation and try to work your way into that connection. And extend. And back in. And 3. In. Exhale 2. And in. And 1. And in. Good. Let's go ahead and come down to your toes, and we're going to connect your heels together. So heels are together, toes are apart. Inhale to prepare, and exhale, press. So 2 straight legs. And back in. And extend. And back in. Beautiful. So we're zipping through those inner thighs. We're activating through the pelvic floor. We are using our breath to stabilize through our hips and keeping those heels hugging together with each press out and with each bend of the knees as we bring it back home. Press 3, 2, and 1. And back in again. Let's come up to your heels, nice and wide. Knees are looking at or in line with the shoulder, I should say, and a slight external rotation, pressing out and back in. Stabilizing at the ankle so that you don't feel like your ankle or your foot is rocking back and forth. And press. and back in. Beautiful. If you feel like your low back is starting to lift or arch, try to make note of that and start to press your low back into the mat a little bit more. Let's go 3 more. And extend, and back in, and 2, and 1. Return back in again. Let's come down to your toes, and we're gonna go back to hip distance apart for our calf raises. So we're pushing out to 2 straight legs. We're dropping the heels under. We lift the heels for 10. And then the thing is that there's a lot of control as you lift, and especially as you lower down, okay? So that's the one thing that is so important to know so that you're not bouncing so much through this. 3, and 2, and 1. Let's take it into running. So bend one knee, drop the other heel, and then we switch, and switch, and switch. This is, again, very important to keeping your pelvis nice and stable so it's quiet. It's not moving around, so it does require a sense of deep awareness. And 4, 3, 2, 1, and then let's bring it back in again. Beautiful. Okay, so let's go ahead and sit ourselves up. We're gonna set ourselves for our abdominal series, and I'm gonna go down to just a medium and an extra light spring here. Okay. Lying ourselves all the way back down, and we're gonna take our arms up towards the ceiling. Okay, so once you're on that spring, find your handles or your loops, whichever is going to be a good fit for you, and then finding your legs up one at a time. So arms are here, let's take it out to a T. Exhale, pull those arms in, and then back out again. Beautiful. So the important part is that we are keeping and maintaining a strong, energized tabletop position. And when I say that, it basically means that we're not like dropping our feet down, we're not bringing our knees all the way in. Like there is very much intention what we're doing as we're holding tabletop, because that in fact is an exercise in itself, right? You can feel that. So 4 more, opening and closing. And you're keeping your arms in your peripheral vision, so you're not opening out too wide behind your shoulder to prevent any wear and tear on the shoulder joint. 1 more time. And hold it right here. Let's go ahead into a tricep press. So you're bending at your elbows, fingertips are reaching at the top, and we are extending straight and back in. So with each of the variations that I'm doing today with our arms, absolutely you guys can add inflection. So that would look like this. Absolutely, you can stay in flexion, you can repeat by lifting and lowering. So you pick and choose, and you have the opportunity to just mix up your own workout by knowing what your body feels and like the energy for that day. 2, and 1 more time. Good. Bring those arms straight back up again. You can drop your feet down for a moment, take a little breather, especially if you have a tendency to overly grip through the hip flexors. Take those breathers a little bit more than you need, you may want to. So last exercise here, we're gonna take our arms back up, finding the tabletop position, and then you're gonna go ahead and have your heels together, toes apart, and we're going to add flexion here. So you're going to rotate to the right by taking your left hand in between your knees and your legs, your thighs, lower back down. Let's alternate. Let's go to the other side and back down. And let's take it over again for 6 and 5 and 4 and 3, 2, and 1. And lower back down, find your feet to the foot bar. Maybe go ahead and take a little windshield wiper there with the knees and hang up your your handles to the pegs. And then we're gonna come up and we are going to take it into some hip work here, okay? So I'm going to change out my handles to my loops. And keep in mind, guys, like we are going through these a lot faster because we aren't doing as many variations. We're also not doing as many repetitions. So that also can configure how long the exercise or your workout you want to be, just based on all that. But it does still feel like a really good full body workout at the end of it. So keep that in mind when you are considering your workout, okay? So once we've done this, we're gonna go ahead and lie down, and again, we're going to find our loops. You're gonna press on out. I'm on 1 medium and 1 light spring there too. Sorry, I didn't say that as I was changing those springs. But let's find our legs straight up. And we're gonna start with keeping our tailbone connected. So find that placement where it feels good for you. Then lower to about 45, heels together, toes apart, we're going into frog. So you're gonna soften your knees as you bend in towards your chest, and then exhale, press out to 2 straight legs. So we're at an angle here as we're going through this. Bend and press out. Good, we bend and extend. So we want to just kind of cinch the inner thighs together and put the entire focus on those adductors so that we are getting stronger through those inner thighs, therefore making our pelvis overall in a stronger position, more stable position. And press. We have 2 more. And press. So you want to control that movement and extend. Good. So then let's go ahead and keep your heels together. Let's lift those legs straight up, separate them, and squeeze the heels back together. Inhale up, tailbone still down. We separate and we squeeze those heels together. So we're maintaining this V shape at our hip joints. So, and see if that challenges you to maintain external rotation this entire time. And up we go. We have 2 and 1. Back at the top we meet, and then let's reverse it. So now we're gonna press down carefully with control, bring those legs back up, hold those heels together. And we press and we separate. And press and we separate. 2 more like that. Yes, pushing with the backs of those legs. And 1. Right back up to the top here. And we'll finish it with our openings. So we're gonna come down to 45 degrees here, okay? So again, you wanna have a nice neutral alignment there with your spine. And you're here still with the heels together, toes apart. Now imagine that there is a table underneath your heels, and you're just gonna glide your heels as they separate from one another across this table. You're going as wide as what you feel is comfortable today. And then the hard part is just drawing those heels back in towards the midline, okay? So they separate from the midline, trying to go at the same speed, same range, and then they exhale. We squeeze like magnets as we pull those heels back together, okay? So allow through your core to facilitate that type of movement. So you should feel your abs engaging, your pelvic floor lifting. Yes, even your low back is helping to stabilize everything here. And I do like my hands to kind of stay as a reminder, just so you can really feel if you are engaging your abs or not. Okay, 2 more. We squeeze and pull back together and then open. Last one. And exhale, squeeze and pull back together. Beautiful. Let's carefully remove 1 foot at a time, and we're going to hang those up and come into a lunge, all right? So we'll come up to a standing position here, and I'm gonna definitely reduce my spring tension to 1 medium, and we're gonna go into our eaves lunge. So my right foot is on the floor, my big toe is basically where the metal bolt is on the reformer. So depending on what model you have at home, just find something where you can have some space where it's not at the complete edge. And then we're going to soften into this, into a lunge. Arms are long and straight, shoulders are down. So chest is lifted. We want to really encourage our chest to stay lifted in this position in order to feel the hip flexor stretch on the left-hand side here. That's the goal. Good, and just breathe into it. Keep breathing. A lot of times we store a lot of stress into our hips, so taking the time to breathe and really add this type of stretching into your program is very beneficial long term. And if you sit a lot, there's like, if you're driving, you're sitting at your desk, many reasons. And then we'll go ahead and come back up all the way, and we'll take it to the other side. So all the way over here, we're finding our foot placement with the left foot on the floor, right foot is supported, and we're taking it back again, 2 straight arms, going into that hip flexor stretch. Yes. And continue to breathe. Nice deep breathing. And if you want more of a stretch here, think about your tailbone almost like tucking underneath you, like you're pushing your hips forward. And that will help to open up the front of the hips to stretch out even more. And then let's go ahead and bring it back in. Let's take it into some arm series here, okay? So we're gonna use the long box in this to get into some chest expansion. We're gonna go into butterfly, and we're going to finish off the arm series with hug a tree. So 2 exercises are gonna focus on the back side of our body, whereas one of the exercises is gonna work on the frontal side of our body. I'm gonna take the headrest down flat and then have a seat facing the back of the reformer. I can still use my loops. So again, you guys, if you have your loops already there, if you wanna go back into your handles, totally up to you. And I'm gonna scoot back a little bit just so that I have my knees over my ankles. Plus, this is like a really good way to know where you wanna have that much resistance, because we're still on the medium spring. So nice and tall for me, shoulders back. You're gonna press your arms, or your palms I should say, into the loops, and then start to slowly release them forward. But we don't wanna go too fast, because we don't wanna slam the carriage into the stopper. So we want to take it super slow so that we know we're still in control of the springs, that the springs are not controlling us, because that can happen more than you think. And take it forward and exhale back. So what should we be feeling here? Well, I want you to start to feel like the work is being done underneath your armpit. So we're working the sides of our back, which we call the lat muscles. And with this exercise, you're going to also get the benefits of feeling through the triceps, so the back of our arms. And then I encourage you to drop your shoulders even further. Reach your fingertips as you press it back 4 more times. Slowly as we inhale. Exhale, 3. Slowly to inhale forward. Exhale, 2. Slowly to inhale forward. And 1 more time. And slowly bring it forward. Beautiful. It's really can be tough to find that control so that you're not letting, again, the springs take control of, take over everything. So let's go into butterfly. We're gonna go ahead and take it right here. So your palms are looking at you. Elbows are just slightly below your shoulder, and we're nice and tall here. And from this position, you're gonna open out, and you're going to slowly return. So here's the trick. We want to carefully focus on the back of our shoulder, the posterior deltoid in this exercise. We are aiming not to squeeze our shoulder blades together. So if you feel that, how can you soften in that area and put the main focus into the back of the shoulder here. And return. Yes. So this one, yes, you do have to do this with the loops. So I apologize, I should have mentioned that earlier. It would be a little challenging to do this with the handles. And close, take it for 2, and close, and last time. And close. Excellent. Okay, so let's go ahead, hang those up. I'm still gonna stay with my long box, but what I'll do is I'll turn around and then I'll straddle the box here, okay? So you can take one foot on each side of the carriage, carefully reach behind you, and we'll grab a hold of our loops again. So going into hug a tree, we're gonna take our arms out wide to a T, so we should be able to see our hands, soft elbows here as we pull and navigate the fingertips towards the midline here. Good, and open. Now, with this exercise, it's really, really simple to have the straps and the springs wanna pull you back. You even may wanna be forward on this exercise, but see if you can challenge yourself to maintain that nice upright position, because that's where the work begins. So if you're not feeling your abs, you might start to feel them as you redirect your posture here. And open. Let's go here for 4. And we are working through the front of our chest. Might even feel this in the front of your shoulders, again, through your biceps, but that's not the main muscle purpose. And take it for 2. And inhale, open, and exhale. And then bring it back in. Good. Okay, let's move along. We're gonna take it into our mermaid. So it's our lateral flexion. I'm gonna place the box back and make room to sit on the carriage here. And we can still stay with the red spring, the medium spring. So it's red if you're on balanced body, and zigzag your leg position here. Okay, from this, we're going to take our left hand into the very center of the foot bar. Right arm is up, palm is looking at the ceiling, and we're gonna take it all the way up and over. So the goal here is that we're getting a rib cage stretch on our right hand side. So think of your ribs almost shining up towards the ceiling as much as possible. And then return back in, nice and easy. And we go back up. And return. So the goal here is that we're getting some lateral flexion. This is a different type of movement of the spine. And in a healthy individual, we want to access all mobility of the spine. Last time. And bring it back in again. Let's take it to the other side. And let's go right hand in the center of the foot bar, left palm is up towards the ceiling. Let's close those ribs together, tuck that tailbone under, and send our bodies to become parallel to the floor. And return up. And it's not even my arm that's doing the work here. I'm really focused in on my torso, navigating my body over and lifting it back up. So what does that mean for you? Let's slow things down a lot and really see if you can activate first your abdominal muscles, hold those to maintain the engagement, and then allow your body to come up. Let's try that one more time. So we come over for the relaxation, we take a pause, and then we intentionally engage through our core, our midsection, and return ourselves back up. I hope you guys can feel the difference. Practice that if you cannot, but it does take a little bit of time to master, right? And to really feel all of that working at the same time. So grabbing our boxes one more time, we'll end it with Swan. And we'll take our Swan prep here. Long box once again. And I'm doing this intentionally to have you guys follow the progressive flow so that you are experiencing the entire full body workout here. On our stomach, we're gonna have our chest come off slightly from the box, Hands are on the foot bar, and I am going to separate my legs so that they're about box distance apart here. All right, eyesight is down, elbows are wide. Let's begin by pressing out to 2 straight arms. And now from here, how do we feel about rolling our shoulders back, lifting our chest up, squeezing our butt cheeks, extending our legs out energetically, and then lower everything back down. 4 more. We bend the elbows. Good. Press out. Lift, roll your shoulder blades down those back pockets, squeeze through your glutes, and lower it down. So what is this doing? Well, first it's going to, depending on how high you're lifting up into extension, you're going to feel a low back stretch. And if you're not coming up as far, totally fine. That is completely okay, because the extra added benefit is that we are strengthening through our upper back. So even if we only come up about midway, that's okay, because I can feel all the focus developing into the center and the upper portion of my back. 1 more like that. Pressing out. Drop those shoulders down. Lift and lower. And begin to bring it back in again. Carefully go ahead and exit off to your side and find some room. We'll finish it with a couple roll downs to just really complete the session today, okay? So hip distance apart there with the feet. Let's bring those arms straight up. We're gonna take a dive down. This is important. So try not to skip these roll downs. It's just a really nice way to check in with your body and to let it know that it is cooling down here. Last time, let's lift those arms up. Let's take a dive. Another stretch through the backs of those legs, releasing everything. Maybe a little, release the pressure off your low back, and then begin to restack your spine. Head's the last thing to come up, shoulders roll back. Beautiful job today, guys. If you like this, like I said, everything's in the description box below, and it gives you 30 essential reformer exercises. It's like your go-to exercises. But this is like one of like the sample workouts that you can do. Obviously, you guys can come back to this workout, but if you're like, I wanna start doing some stuff on my own, that is the first place to start. So hope you guys like it, and I will see you guys next Monday.